Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Onward VR Master League. I am your caster today, Nohm4n with a 4, and I am joined by my good buddy and very frequent caster today, Mr. Todd Abercorn. How you doing? How you doing, buddy?
Pretty good, and the number of casts today is 3, and this is the first one of the day, so pretty hyped.
Yeah, that is the Sesame Street number that we're brought to you by is 3 today. Exactly. We are in Season 8, Week 8, and we have got a pretty fantastic matchup for the folks at home today. We have got Silent Purge and BossFight, a good EU set for everybody. Yeah, everybody wants the EU. We're bringing you the EU at noon. There is also a game going on over on Master League 2, I believe, with Chatting Pair. That's going to be Divided and Lords of War, so check that out. While we wait for the folks to start their lobby, let's go quickly take the folks through the old bans and picks. So, map ban by BossFight is going to be Cargo, the first one. So any thoughts on the Cargo ban by BossFight, Mr. Todd?
Well, looking at the statistics, Cargo isn't BossFight's worst map. That's Tanker, but Cargo comes in a close second at 56% of round win. Now, the reason why they didn't ban Tanker is because they knew Silent Purge never plays Tanker.
Okay. Yeah, that kind of makes sense. Silent Purge is indeed banning Tanker on their side. So we're not going to be seeing the two smallest maps in this series. We are going to be dealing with, I don't know, before we get into really anything else, what are your thoughts on the maps that we are likely to play based on these two teams?
Both teams, in my experience, really like to see longer range maps. Like their most played ones are Bazaar and Quarantine, so we're definitely going to see some slow down play. We're going to see some strategy coming out. We're not going to see raw skill matches of who has the best hand-eye coordination, you know?
Sure. I think some of that comes into play, but
It comes into play, but it's not raw hand-eye coordination.
Right. Not a lot of, we're not expecting at least a lot of speedy movements. But either way, it's going to be a good series because these are two fantastic teams. This is a challenge match, I believe, as Silent Purge, and correct me if I'm wrong here, just last week was able to best BossFight, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes, this is a challenge match, and Silent Purge, and I'm looking at this, let's see. I'm not seeing a BossFight Silent Purge match.
No, there is. It is on the 25th, so 2 weeks ago, and it was a 3-4 fest. So BossFight just narrowly losing 9-12 to Silent Purge, but Silent Purge taking all three maps in that series. So pretty dang intense for that matchup, but I know it has been sort of a rivalry between the two. They have played quite a few matches. So not entirely surprising. You play a team enough, you start to sort of understand their rhythm. But a pretty interesting. That was an interesting week overall. The Vikings had overtaken the beginners for the first time. And it's a pretty intense series in general. So we will see what this rematch looks like as we get into the lobby. The teams are just now filing in. So we will see what turns out here, but we do have information for the folks at home as to the first map that it's going to be, and that is going to be Bazaar. I think to really no one's surprise, I feel like every time I cast a boss fight match, we play Bazaar.
And it's both teams' most played map, so I don't think there really is any surprise there in the numbers either.
Yeah, it is a very good all-around map. It's one of those that has largely stayed unaffected. There was a little bit of a lighting issue on it in the early days of the Reloaded patch, and most of those have been rectified to some degree, and I think now the map is back to being relatively balanced again, aside from maybe one or two objectives that could still use a little tweaking. But yes, it is I think it's just generally one of the most played maps in the league, if I'm not mistaken. Most teams will play.
Probably is.
I think it's in every team's top 3, if if I'm not mistaken. So
It's that nice middle ground between having like a strategic map where you have to plan where movements are going to happen, and also having that close quarter combat kind of aspect to it with, you know, how tight everything is. So
yeah,
kind of hits best of both worlds.
absolutely. I think we're gonna see, you know, basically the run of the gamut here of all the different types of engagements. We're gonna see those long range sneaky plays. We're gonna see some of the CQC action when it, you know, timer starts ticking down. We're close to OBJ, so we'll see the map flexing for sure. As we get into the series, we are just waiting on a couple folks to dive in. We would normally take it to the match page, but as it has been tweaked a little bit, we'll just wait until there is a full lobby, and we'll discuss the players. There has been a shift on the BossFight side. Is that correct, Todd?
Yes, we have BossFight have said goodbye to a fan favorite, Pucci UK. He's gone on to do other projects now, but they have not taken a replacement yet for Huchi. So if you feel good enough for BossFight, send them an application.
Yeah, absolutely. Go try out. If you love the EU time slot and you like those guys, they're all fantastic people. Definitely go do that. But yeah, Huchi is a pretty big loss. If I'm being honest, he's a pretty solid player for the team. So I'm wondering how much that is going to impact. Now, I believe that happened after the Silent Purge loss, if I'm not mistaken. So I don't know if that played any factor in it, but I believe that's the case, and I'm curious as to whether or not we're gonna feel the difference here, right? Who will take the replacement position, and then do they suffer in any way as a result of that? I think we're gonna be keeping our eye on BossFight quite a bit in this series. So just waiting on two more folks to pop into the lobby. I do want to take this time while we're waiting for a quick thank you to our sponsors, VR Cover and ProTube VR. Go ahead and check out those guys' websites. They've got all kinds of fantastic VR peripherals that you can get your hands on pretty easily. VR Cover has accessories for the headsets, and ProTube VR does all of the stocks, the gun stocks that people clip their controllers into. So do check those out. Those are fantastic products. I use both. So the other thing I wanted to say is thank you to everybody for coming out on a Saturday afternoon and joining Sleepy Nohm4n and Mr. Todd, Mr. TFH on this cast. We have got an unbelievable amount of Onward action for you guys this week. I mean, it's crazy. We talked about it yesterday at Friday Night Fights, but geez, I didn't really count the games, but it is in the double digits for sure this weekend. So just stay glued to the tablet, the TV, the monitor, whatever it is. Just stay glued to it, because there's going to be Onward stuff coming at you all freaking day long. It's going to be fantastic.
The VHS.
Yeah, exactly.
Taping it.
Yeah, get the old, oh God, what is that software called? A screen recording software. I obviously can't even remember it anymore.
Unregistered Hypercam?
Yes, that's exactly the one. How did you know? Yeah, no, I mean,
I grew up in the internet in the 2008, so looked up a lot of tutorials there and heard the same song over and over again, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, we are 4v4 in the lobby now, and I'm hesitant to kick us really into any sort of match stuff just yet. We could go over the 4 folks on both sides, but I would prefer that we get everybody in. So I think what we're gonna do is we're gonna drop the young ladies and gentlemen in the chat into a quick intermission while we make sure that there are no technical issues to be ironed out on the team side. And you can just basically ignore that countdown timer, because we'll be back as soon as the action is back. And just a couple of minutes, and we will be right back, folks. Thanks for
Bye, everybody.
sticking around. We'll be right back. All right, folks, your patience is paid off. The folks are in the lobby. We're going to quickly go over who is on which team. Silent Purge has Too Old, RPT, Dom Patron, Arc Attack, and Mano. Not super surprising. I think Mano is the reservist, if I'm not mistaken, unless he got picked up. Did he get picked up? No, he didn't get picked up yet.
No,
okay, so that is a reservist. So 4 for Silent Purge plus the reservist. On the BossFight site, you've got Legal, Scorpio, Mad Scientist, Bullets for Breakfast, and Scooby-Doo. So looks like Bullets is going to be the one coming in for Hoochie's common position here. And we are going to be getting into some action here pretty shortly. I'm going to just toss you over to the pre-round while the guys get prepped in the lobby. And we're going to get ourselves into some Bazaar here. So what are you expecting to see, Todd, from this series? What do you think? Let's just start with Bazaar. How do you feel Bazaar is going to go? Who's favored?
Who is favored here? Well, I could do the numbers, but I'm not. Knowing Silent Purge, they have a man named Too Old on that side, and this guy is great when it comes to knowing his pick spots and free fires and those nice little corners. I think that will favor him extremely well on this map. BossFight have a lot of practice as well, so I honestly, I can't really give you a definitive answer. It could go either way.
Yeah, and knowing what we know about their last meetup just a few weeks ago, it is really, it was a 3-4 fest back and forth. So it is probably a pretty tough call. I don't know either. You know, it's going to be interesting to see what the roster changes. My gut is telling me BossFight will take this Bazaar. That's just my gut telling me. That's not really any sort of statistical analysis. But by no means do I think it's going to be a blowout. At least I sure hope it won't be a blowout. But I think we're going to see a pretty solid matchup here. I mean, that's why I jumped onto this. I think it's going to be a good one to watch, folks. Thank you for tuning in. And we do have almost everybody. Yeah, everybody is ready in the lobby, so we should be kicking off here momentarily. We are playing on the new build, so all of the changes, adjustments, and the hotfix are all in place from the last week. And now we'll see how it works out for the BossFight fellas, because that's who we're going to be joining for round 1 here on map 1. As they try to defend this market objective. So we'll see what kind of setup they get. Silent Purge getting that mid-street spawn, so a little bit on the quicker side. And they're opting to go for a 3-2 push. 2 in the north, 3 crossing on this south street. Too Old setting up a little firing lane here. I like this, that they're sort of coordinating back and forth. They're checking each other's angles as they push up. BossFight staying relatively tucked in so far, and Silent Purge taking their time, making sure to clear all of the different angles they need to clear.
It looks like that Too Old's gonna try to peek into this middle courtyard. Or I'm sorry, the West Market. Words.
Directions are hard. We know that for a
Yes, they
fact.
are.
Yeah, between him and Architect, they've got the right coverage here on the approach, but they do need at least one more set of eyes here on the south if they want to sort of safely approach these corridors. They're going to have to deal with bullets for breakfast first, as he is tucked in quite nicely. Mad Scientist there holding down the West Mini Market.
Being able to control this alleyway is just so uncrucial, or so crucial, I should say. I said uncrucial for some reason, but it's so crucial because that controls like half the lanes that you can attack objectives from. If you even have one guy there just monitoring it, you have such an advantage.
Yeah, it is. It's a hard one to lose because you lose control of basically an entire side of an objective once you lose track of it. And it's a lot to lose. 25% of your visibility, probably more, for an objective is a pretty big deal. Too Old tossing a few smokes out onto that south street, starting to make the defense feel a little bit antsy. Gonna get frag coming out.
Noise to mask his movements. He is moving around a lot.
Yeah, that is going to help quite a bit, but I feel like if you're sprinting, bullets for breakfast will likely still be able to see you. Mad Scientist finds Architect on the cross as he tries to get up to where Too Old is. Does not find him. Now Too Old's going to have to deal with bullets and Scooby here. Ooh, he's just on the outside while I'm just kind of chasing him around this building. RPG and Too Old watching over the top of each other. Too Old finds Scooby. Bullets a little too slow to react. Doesn't spot out Too Old, but he's inside. Is he going to find him? Yes, he heard the shots. He heard the footsteps and finds one. Dom Patron, meanwhile, finds Legal. And Scorpio's fighting his own battle here in the north. But Silent Purge up 4-2 already. The defense forced to rotate. Mano now rushing through on that north side.
And
Scorpio has
Too Old's
trashed
on objective.
Oh no. Oh no, that's
Capping.
Oh, that's it. That's gonna be it, man. Scientist on a long rotation doesn't catch it. And geez, the caster almost didn't catch it. Too Old with that cap for the start is going to give Silent Purge their first 2 points here in the series.
Like we said, being able to control that alleyway is just so crucial to defending the objective. But once you lose control of it, that objective becomes exponentially harder to defend.
Yeah, very much so. And we saw that panicked rotation from Scorpio in the north, and it just wasn't quite fast enough to get back to where he needed it to be. And Mad Scientist, not sure why he chose to rotate quite so far around. But yeah, it took a little bit too long, and Too Old was already across the street and inside for that cap. A pretty solid play there, actually. Really nothing to complain about, you know? It worked as well as it should have. I applaud Silent Purge's play, and now we'll see if BossFight can put something together a little bit similar. I don't know if they're gonna find themselves a cap necessarily, but they're not out of this just yet. They will hopefully grab themselves at least a point on kills. I can't imagine Silent Purge is going to be off objective enough to try to let go of a cap.
No, I don't think they will. And we're seeing, I think, the reason why Too Old was able to get that cap is because they were able to, I'm sorry, Silent Purge was able to kill 4 members of BossFight. Now BossFight's got to do the same feat, but we've seen Too Old is one heck of a brawler.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Round 2 is kicking off. Silent Purge on the defense. I have to excuse my camera work here. Jeez, I feel like my mouse just went insane. little too speedy on the turning radius. All right, the Spawn is going to be the south spawn for boss fight. A little bit shorter, but a little bit further away in terms of east-west distance. Now, Scooby, Mad Scientist, and Bullets all set up here watching this street cross. And Silent Purge getting set up in their defensive spots. And if we take a quick look at the overhead map, they are kind of giving the south a little bit of leeway. They're sort of banking on those two in the northeast to hold that corridor, but I don't know, enough smokes on that street, and if you can get 1 or 2 members across, it could be a pretty dangerous position to leave open.
You probably see the rotation after they call out the spawn.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely feels like they're expecting a heavy north push. That is kind of what they're set up in right now.
That is the push that they did last time, so they might be expecting BossFight to mimic them, but like BossFight really can't. They didn't have the correct spawn for that.
Yeah, correct. They're going to have to take quite a long ways to get up into the north. They're just sending one right now. And set up waiting on these angles, looking for anybody. Let's take a look at Scorpio's positioning here as he checks inside of that blue room hallway. And the patience here, you know, this is what I always applaud these EU teams for, is this kind of patience where you just watch your corridor for as long as you need to watch it, and you know, by golly, it works. You'll get, in that last 30 seconds, you'll get people running into a new position because they need to rotate, and you'll get caught out by somebody who just waited out long enough. It's definitely laudable. Something that I think a lot of us EU teams struggle with sometimes, is a little bit of patience.
I believe you mean NA. You never told me you were European, Nohm4n.
Yeah. I mean, I am, but I just live here. You know, it's just what I'm waiting for.
It's America, you know. America.
It is America. You are right. Scorpio laying down that pre-fire into the boxes all over that west courtyard. I mean, a very likely reason for why Silent Purge would have opted not to sit in those boxes, right? That is a pretty common pre-fire spot. You don't want to lose somebody to a really sort of basic position like that. So part of the reason we might be seeing their positioning look like this is because they did not want to deal with that. So all 5 up still, 3 minutes burned, 3 minutes left. And we have got BossFight finally closing the noose on the eastern side, but their south has not yet caught up. If you take a look at the overhead map, there is still 2 members sort of long range. One not yet across the middle street. Oh, the callouts are coming out from BossFight there. They have identified Arc Attack and RPT in these 2 buildings, it seems. So now it'll be a question of how they decide to clear these rooms. That is what we're waiting for. Scooby's gonna be the first one to find Arc Attack, and Silent Purge goes down to 4 pretty quickly. 2 minutes left. Smokes are coming out on the north side as well as the mid.
Oh, and
Patron finds one. Too Old cleans up Scooby here, and now it's a 4v3 just like that. BossFight in the disadvantage. Bullets needs to rotate out, find his approach through. Scorpio found the kill, but is quickly refragged by RPT. And now it's a 3v2 as Mad Scientist pushes up the street, but Dom Patron shuts that down, and now just 1 remaining member of BossFight. And it is Bullets for breakfast here in the north. He's got 1.5 minutes. What can he do? Let's take a ride along the Bullets for breakfast train and see what his approach is going to look like. He's down to 65 seconds. He is hearing all those call-outs.
he does have a pretty steep uphill climb. He's got 3 people to take out, and all of them are decent players. Mano, RPT, and 2 old. It's a pretty tall order.
It is indeed. It is indeed. He might be able to find 1. I don't know if he's going to find 2. Makes the rush around the corner, but the trade is what's going to happen there as Bullets and RPT both take each other out. And Silent Purge will take this round, make it 3-0. Not on the map yet. We're not on the map point just yet, folks. Although if Silent Purge can put together an offense here, like they did in that first round, it could be a pretty quick Bazaar round. Oh, I mean, that would be quite surprising for me if BossFight doesn't put up a point on Bazaar.
It's funny because me and Nightfire casted Animal House Fury last night, and that was a sweep.
Interesting. In which direction? Just for the folks at home who did not tune in.
Animal House swept Fury, denied them a single point.
Interesting. Well, I mean, it does happen, but I don't know. I feel like for a mid-tier matchup like that can sometimes make sense. But these are 2 pretty top-tier teams. It's rare to see 2 top-tier teams, blow one another out. We rarely will see a 4-0 across the board for a Global Chem Beginners game, for example. So it would be pretty shocking for me to not have BossFight at least hold this objective. Now, I mean, just to be clear for the folks at home, we are 3-0, but it was a cap in the beginning, so we've only played 1 objective. We've only played that West Market objective. And like we talked about in a couple of our previous casts, the objectives make all the difference. Some teams just struggle on certain objectives more than others on the same map. So we will see if BossFight has a better time with BossFight defense on this hotel objective. That's I have a feeling they will likely put up a good showing here. And they need to. It really doesn't matter what I think, because they absolutely have to if they want to keep some kind of momentum here in map 1.
Yeah, this objective is probably one of the more balanced ones, depending on the spawn that Marsoc gets.
Yeah, they do not get quick spawn. They do get southwest spawn. And they are opting to cross the south rather than getting all the way into the middle right away. And BossFight getting set up pretty quickly in this northeast courtyard. And we'll see what kind of approach Marsoc chooses to take. Take a quick look at the overhead map while they get set up in their positions. You can see all the BossFight triangles rotating around as they check and sweep all their angles. Silent
Definitely
Purge.
This time,
Yeah.
not nearly as pushed out as they were before.
Yeah, this is a pretty, I would think, standard defense. The only sort of wild card is that northeast position, which they do need for the north, but is a pretty tricky one to rotate back from once, the insanity starts happening across the map. So we'll see if they're able to get back in time. But it does make sense as there are 2 Silent Purge members heading north and 3 coming from the south. So a pretty... they're loving this 2-3 formation. That's for sure. Architect clearing some of these angles, but BossFight, I mean, pretty tucked in. They're kind of waiting for that short-range game, right? Mad Scientist tucked in on the ground. Bullets for breakfast tucked in on the other side. Scorpio on the inside corner watching that backside. I mean, there's not a lot of exposed defenders, which for this objective is the way you want to play it. You don't want to just give away free picks across the map. We're going to have a little bit of time here before I think there's really any contact.
Silent Purge is actually just playing this so quietly this time compared to last time, where they just ran up and destroying everything in their path.
Yeah, definitely felt like they had that sort of practiced maneuver on that play. Don Patron taking some shots out Sports member of BossFight there in the north who had rotated out.
Shootouts with the grenades.
That is Legel. That is Legel that he traded a few rounds with, but Legel smartly rotating out of that position. He's going to let Scooby-Doo deal with that approach when the time comes. Smart choice at that distance. Architect still trying to clear these windows here, but I mean, Mad Scientist is just barely peeking his head over. I don't think it's really even. I don't think it's a shot anybody would really be willing to take. Let's tune in back with our guys in the south. Some smoke starting to roll out. Legel did rotate back to that position, surprisingly, in that window. He is looking for somebody as he clears that smoke. New shots coming out from Don in his position. Do not land, and more smoke starting to roll out in this eastern side. The north has to start crashing through as well. Ooh, the grenade comes out just too short. That would have been a pretty intense one. More smoke's coming out.
You're timing it right.
Legel rotating back out. And the smokes are through, but they're opting to go on the opposite side as Mano goes to clear that western side of the northeast courtyard. Only Don Patron and RPT here on this approach. Actually, now it's just Don Patron as RPT chooses to rotate back.
We're down to 2 minutes and no one has died yet. I don't think anyone's ever been shot, but as I say that, Legel finds Too Old and takes him down.
The confirm does come out. Don Patron's in a fantastic position here. I'm just kind of hovering over it, but he can catch defenders rotating as there are fewer and fewer of them. This is a dangerous position for BossFight. I don't think they're going to be expecting somebody there. Mano, meanwhile, finds bullets for breakfast in that first position. Mad Scientist kind of unaware. Scorpio takes a few shots. Architect cleans up Mad Scientist for Mano, and the objective is getting more and more open by the second. Scorpio will clean up RPT.
And Mano's on objective. He's capping.
He's got that tab out. Scorpio is rushing up. Scooby finds Don Patron. Scorpio rushes. He's still at the tablet in. Mano does go down, and now it's just Architect left to try to push this objective. 60 seconds.
Yeah, BossFight definitely learned their lesson there. They are monitoring objective like a hawk.
Oh yeah, this is going to be a tough approach for Architect, especially considering he's got very little time left. 44 seconds to try to make the rush. He's sending some bullets down that way, but no love. The grenade a little too high, not in the window. But it looks like Architect is really going to need to start pushing quickly. Architect looking for his picks here, but he doesn't have a lot of time and not a lot of choices. He's going to have to find a way in.
And Legel is on top of the building right above Architect. We might see a vertical flank here.
And there it is. Scooby will find the kill there and put BossFight on the map for the first time in the series so far. 3-1.
May the reverse sweep commence. Hopefully for BossFight. Pretty sure that's what they're thinking at this point. They cannot lose another objective if they want to win this map.
Yeah, I mean, we talked about this yesterday in the Friday Night Fights cast with Sleepy that I did. I mean, it really is a tall order for playing against any of these top teams to try to take 2 or 3 perfect rounds away from them. It is no small feat. But we've seen all kinds of things happen in the VRML, so I would not necessarily be surprised if we did see the reverse sweep. It just definitely stacks in Silent Purge's favor right now. But we'll see. Maybe BossFight just, not feeling too strong on that market objective and can bring it back on some of these other ones.
Or maybe they just didn't warm up.
It is amazing how much a good warm-up makes a difference in your games. It is an important note to make. A lot of these teams will do their proper warm-up an hour before, and a lot of times you can tell when they're feeling a little bit sluggish, you know, a little bit rusty, as it were.
Yeah, but I think they're finally finding their groove. Might bring it back on this map. At least that's their mindset, I'd imagine.
I would definitely agree with you. I would definitely agree with you on that. As we get into round 4, it is now, I believe. I'm hearing the old lighter flick for a... Yep, there it is. For some Molotovs. And BossFight does get the mirrored spawns. They do not get quick spawn, but are in the quick spawn positioning as 4 have pushed up into this northwest corridor.
Careful on North Road.
Lego pushing up as his teammate tells him, careful on North Road. He starts taking some fire. Yeah, taking some shots there from RPT, it would seem. Scorpio bullets and Scooby all making their approach through.
Red room windows where bullets was.
The call-outs coming in full force as Silent Purge definitely a little bit more antsy on their defense. I'm seeing a lot of rotation, a lot of tweaks to their positioning, and relatively unique spots. Down Patrol holding this middle street from this cheeky little corner here.
And Matt might try to find someone through the crack that faces the objective from the main street.
Yeah, he is looking down that little corridor. I mean, it's a pretty common spot. Most teams will not get caught out by it, but sometimes you don't have a choice. Sometimes you just got to rotate through, and if Matt's quick on the draw, it's entirely possible.
Just run as fast as you can.
Scooby sweeping these rooms. Too old, really the only one on OBJ. I mean, Arc Attack is close enough, and Mano can rotate in, but the other two pretty far away if things were to go south quickly. Let's see where our BossFight approach is now, as they've given up on that far north push and decided to go through Mid Street and
Right side of room.
Kai at objective.
The blue room next to objective. That's the right side of the room, guys. Just be
Yeah, all the call-outs coming out about which positioning they're going to push through. A C4 gets detonated over by Mad Scientist side, but no purchase there.
Just a total play standstill going on right here. Everyone's kind of waiting for the first team to make a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, this is a pretty tough objective. You want to push all at once or not at all, right? You have to make sure that you're applying equal pressure throughout, because if you allow the defense to clean up either one of your approaches on whichever sides you decide to come through, you can have a really hard time pushing through just one angle, because now the defense doesn't have to rotate constantly or shift their gaze.
Mano tosses a frag out, misses Legel.
And now we are starting to see the boss fight, but Arc Attack with the insane C4 finds 3. Don Patron finds Mad Scientist on the push. Tool going out for the confirm. Legel, what are you doing? He takes the knife out, but it takes too long, and Tool confirms every last one of those C4 kills. Don Patron finds Legel as he pushes through to the objective in that smoke, and Silent Purge will take their first map here on Bazaar, 4-1. Holy cow, ladies and gents.
What an ending to that. That was like, how far into the round did we go on that?
That was crazy. That C4 found 3. And then sometimes, I mean, I can understand. I think he's trying to just be silent. He just wanted to be quiet. But Legel there, instead of just shooting Too Old in the back and potentially reviving 3 teammates who were down, opted for the knife kill, which gave Tool just enough time to confirm all 3 C4 kills. I mean, that was... Wow. Wow, wow, wow. What a series so far it's been. Silent Purge taking that first map, and now we're going to be getting into our second map. Let's tell the folks at home what that second map's going to be.
Second map is going to be Suburbia. There's a phone going off in the background here, sorry.
Ring, ring. It's map 2 calling. It says,
yes, it is.
Come,
Yes, it
come,
is.
come watch me. That's what it says. It left a message, so right to my answering machine.
Yeah. I tried muting it, but a little hard when your caster says, "What map is it?" Right as the phone is ringing.
Yeah, so it's my fault. I see how this goes.
Yes, you probably called me too.
Sabotage. Yeah, so to rehash quickly, bans are cargo and tanker, so the 2 small maps are out for this play. We have not heard if either team is going to opt for either any one of the 3 new maps that were, well, 2 old new maps and 1 new map are going to be played, but so far we are still on the sort of standard map pack that we've seen for this build.
Yeah, these are all. We're probably not going to see Snow Peak. I don't think many of these top 2 teams are the most fond of Snow Peak. There's some that really like it.
Yeah, it varies very much so. But yeah, but considering it's new and some people are still concerned with performance issues causing some problems, I would imagine we will not likely see it in this series. But there is going to be Suburbia, and I am pretty excited about that. BossFight definitely pretty strong. This is their pick for map, so they will be playing on home field advantage, as I would like to think. We'll see if they can put up the points necessary to try to take map 2 away from Silent Purge, but Silent Purge on quite a strict... God, I'm still thinking about that C4. I sure wish I had my replay buffer on at the time. Completely forgot about that, because that is a good one. Hopefully the folks in the chat, who we do appreciate for hanging out with us, have clipped it so that we can have it for later, because that was definitely contender for play of the week.
Oh yeah, no. C4s are such a risky move. You can't pick it up after you put it down, and so when you get a triple off of a C4 kill, definitely a good feeling.
Just waiting on, I think, one more member here to ready up. And ready he is, as we are now going to be getting ourselves into some gameplay here on map 2. Round 1 kicking off. Let's see the spirits of BossFight
One as well. Yeah. Anyone?
in the spawn. A little bit of a somber tone, but we'll see if that changes throughout the course of the map as they look to put themselves onto the series board with a map win here in Suburbia, their map choice.
Free fire coming out of Scooby-Doo. Just tries to get one for his team, but is unable to find it.
Yeah, not going to be an easy setup here. Tool, interesting position there, tucked in the tank. It'll be a difficult one to see for sure. See how many kills that affords him as BossFight makes their approach. 2-3 again. Everybody's loving their 2-3s today. Both of these teams run this 2-3 configuration. This time 2 on the west, 3 on the east.
Well, the 2-3 configuration is great because you can apply a pretty even amount of pressure on both sides, and it gives at least one side leeway to lose a player. So it's a great strategy if you want to overwhelm a team.
Yeah, they are opting to stay out of that sort of middle lane, middle set of lanes, lanes 2 and 3. Scooby the only one in lane 3. Some nades coming out there towards Mayna's position, but a little too high to do any real damage as Legel pushes through. Just want to make sure I keep my eyes on both sides here. C4 detonates a little too early. Oh, and another C4 detonates a little too early.
Double trouble.
That could have been dangerous for the boss fight push. Likely Nohm4n27 hearing the footsteps of Legel there made the call out. But boss fight stays tucked in, doesn't lose one yet. And we're 2 minutes into the series so far.
Still playing slow on Suburbia. They're just taking their time looking for these picks here and making sure no corner goes untouched.
A little bit more pre-fire coming out from the Scorpio side. Looking to find anybody. I'm assuming he's shooting the front of the tank, but I mean, Too Old is there. I just don't, it's not like he knows he's laying there. I just think, I don't know, that pre-fire would be good distraction area. I just didn't see a lot of boss fight movement off of it, right?
Yeah.
Nice nade comes out there. Jeez, almost missed that. Mad Scientist just barely ducking it in that corner.
They really still haven't taken the middle block yet, I would say. A rocket of a nade goes out, but barely misses RPT.
I mean, this is just like a pre-fire game right now. All I'm doing is swapping between people pre-firing each other. They're all shooting through fences. They're all shooting over hedges, etc., etc. I haven't seen anybody actually directly take a shot yet. I think the first one here is going to be the Nohm4n27 and Legel combo. Oh, Legel might not be ready for this. I think Nohm4n27 spots him through the bushes. He does indeed, and the first pick goes to Silent Purge.
Yeah, Nohm4n27 is a good reservist to pick up. He has so much league experience being on Phoenix since, I believe, season 2? Maybe season 1?
Yeah, I mean, a very seasoned player at that. Smoke starting to come out towards the objective.
So yeah, I think he was on Mob Squad at one point.
Here is the full series. Scooby gonna get caught out by Too Old there. Doesn't spot his position as now he pushes up a little bit. Top Patron will find Mad Scientist on that burning building push, and now it is just 2 members of Boss Fight and all 5 up for Silent Purge. As Scorpio and Bullets look to make their approach here through the center.
Nohm4n27's making a lot of noise by Bullets. He's groaning hard, and Bullets finds him through the hedges.
There we go. Starting the equalizing there as he finds one Scorpio, the only one left inside a center house. Bullets has to find his way somewhere close to him. They got a minute and 30 left.
Yeah, middle house is just so crucial to hold. It gives you a view of the objective area. It allows you to pin down the enemy in their own area. Granted, you don't give it up.
No, definitely not. I mean, that center house is a good position to have at 60 seconds left. Bullets just has to find maybe 1, possibly 2, at least 1 here at the front. Sort of at what is that called? A T intersection in lane 3. If you can at least find that, they might be in a good position to try to make a push, but now Architect has sort of gotten himself into a good spot where he can find Bullets if he makes too much noise. And with 40 seconds left, they're still opting to rotate. Still haven't found their picks. Shots ring out from RPT. We'll find Bullets for breakfast on that lane 1 push. Scorpio now rushing. We'll find the back of Too Old. He's got 30 seconds left. He's taking shots down Patron. With the assistance of Architect, we'll find the kill, and Silent Purge take their first point here on map 2.
1 point. Ha ha ha. Okay, that's enough Sesame Street.
Yeah, that is 2 Sesame Streets that we have done today.
I'm sorry. We're gonna be counting it all day.
Yeah, I think you've started a trend here.
Probably.
Well, Boss Fight not able to put up quite the offense I think they were hoping for, and Silent Purge continues to be on their tear here. Now BossFight on the defense for this tank objective. We'll see if they can bring it back. Ooh, I should probably put the point on the actual scoreboard. That would be a smart thing to do. I don't know. What do you think is the what do you think's not working well for BossFight here?
I think they're playing it too slow.
That's such a NA caster thing to say. That's so.
No, Suburbia is a map where you punish people for knowing exactly where they're positioned beforehand. You go to these spots, you smoke it out, and you murder them before they even know what's going on. But when you play slow, yes, you are more likely to get picks and kills like that. But at the same time, you're giving up time and you're allowing the time to go into the defensive hand. Silent Purge has too old the game on there, and that is precisely what he does. He knows where these places and people are going to be, and he punishes for them for being there. BossFight have to up the aggression.
I do tend to agree with you. I believe that if you give the defense too much time to set up, it can be damaging to your offense. I don't know. I feel like there's just it's more that they're missing coordination right now. I'm really not seeing the cohesion I normally expect to see from a BossFight offense like that, right? We didn't see the utilities coming out at the same time. We didn't see sort of proper coverage of lanes. They let Mayno have run of that lane too for a very long time. Mad Scientist and Jesus. Too Old is on the inside already looking for Mad Scientist. He's gonna miss the shots on his first attempt. He rushes the stairs. He's gonna find Mad Scientist reloading. And Lego will clean up Too Old on that aggressive push. Mayno and RPT still around this center house. Lego's not out of the woods yet.
No, he's not. BossFight got aggressive with this defense, and Mayno finds Scooby-Doo.
Ooh, and the nice nade response there from Lego will down Mayno. Will not finish him.
But I was saying before, we saw a much more aggressive defense from BossFight this time as they try to take real estate, and it's actually worked in their favor. They have like a half-man advantage right now.
They do indeed. Oh, and there's the finishing nade. That's going to take Mayno out. RPT is now down. Fantastic nade play there by Lego.
I don't know how much time he had left on that cook. If he messed it up, he was gone.
That was close. That was very close for sure. Architect now in the rotation is going to try to find RPT. I'm wondering if there are callouts coming or not. I think Lego is looking for the confirmed bullets for breakfast, though. No, we'll find the kill onto Lego. The team kill, that is, and even things out for Silent Purge. This could not be a bigger saving grace for Silent Purge. Is that team kill? Oh,
He's beginning to make his move into middle house, which is currently free real estate and a pretty good property nonetheless. It's got perfect objective views.
it's sunlit. Objective views and romantic walks on the beach, all possible from center house.
Nice tank in the driveway.
Don't we all just want a tank in our driveway, you know?
Yeah, I know. It's what is it? It's a 2-bedroom house, no bath. Yeah, no bathrooms at all. But hey, you get a first-person view of the whole thing. I didn't think about it. That bathroom thing is kind of messing with my head now. Like, who would buy a house with no bathrooms?
That's what the pool is for. That's what they use.
True.
They've repurposed
It's a very
the
small pool too.
yeah. Well, you know, regular cleanings are important. Hygiene is important.
Yes.
Wolves for breakfast. Just holding this objective position. It's a pretty good spot. His IK wasn't all wonky on my screen, but Architect and RPT need to find a way to make this approach. I don't know how much utility they have left. I did see Architect whip a few smoke grenades over towards the objective as they made the push, and a trade comes out as Scorpio and RPT will trade shots, but Scorpio still available for the res. Arc attack with the confirm nade coming out. Will it complete? No, it is behind, but Bullets for Breakfast will redeem himself and find the kill on Arc attack as he makes the push towards burning. And BossFight will get onto the board here in map 2 themselves with a defensive win.
Like I said before, that aggression on BossFight's end really changed the tone up of the match, and it got the real estate they so desperately needed, which is the middle house, and were able to basically establish a pretty solid defense from there on. We do know the EU style as slower, but I think BossFight has slowed it down a little too much, and they need to pick it up if they want to stay competitive in this game.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it definitely worked out, though.
Volk has that 6-man advantage, and it is the Kronos, the man himself. And you don't want him to come to the doorstep and say, rounds up. Rounds up, bedtime, go to bed when the street lamps come on. We are seeing both teams use all 2 minutes of their time, too.
Absolutely. I mean, the planning is real. We're definitely seeing that coordination for sure.
Which team can make it happen first? Make it happen.
They're gonna make it happen here because round 3 is kicking off.
I think it's Mariah Carey, right? I forget.
Drum mags, drum mags, drum mags, drum mags.
I definitely cannot impersonate her.
I would be very impressed if you could. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Probably destroy my mic.
What?
All the mirrors in your house as well. Shattered.
Yeah. The dog would just be like, I'm done.
Just packs up and leaves. BossFight now on the offense. Silent Purge looking to hold their garage objective. So this one, I don't know. I always say this one can be tough to defend, and then, you know, the defense wins, and I'll say it's hard to attack, and the offense wins. So, you know, what do I know? What do I know anymore?
just don't talk, you know?
Yeah, I'll just
Let it happen.
silently just move the camera around.
And now we observe a moment of silence for Nohman's strats.
Bake that C4, get somewhere safe, make a lot of noise.
I like that strategy there. He's talking, make some noise, get close, make some noise, bait out the C4 placements. Not keep track of where the defense likely placed those, but there's one. Spots it out for me. As they detonate what? There should be at least one more somewhere on the map here. Most likely Don Patron sending some shots out towards lane 1. And now Lego looking to find Mano there. He does indeed. The down comes out, and the res is going to be pretty unlikely, so he will likely be a call-out machine. Scorpio doing a little bit of pre-fire on...
No. Okay.
Yeah, a little bit of pre-fire coming out there from Scorpio as he rotates back out.
Is Don gonna get greedy here? Oh, he might confirm his own... Oh, okay, it was a smoke. Or he might try to confirm Mano. But he is going to try to go get that res under smoke cover. Good, but Lego read the play.
A very nice set there. RPT returning fire, but not going to be good enough. Silent Purge loses too.
Smokes out, come on.
Smokes onto the front yard here.
Yeah, we are hearing the call-outs for smokes coming in. Lego, Bullets for Breakfast, tossing theirs in. Too Old's going to have his work cut out for him as the rest of the offense is pushing through. I've seen at least 7 smokes, if not 8, already pushed through. Lego and Scorpio pushing. Too Old's going to find the back of one. Mad Scientist looking for him, but Too Old finds another before he dies. Mad Scientist doesn't spot him. What just happened? What is he doing? He's carrying a nade to try to clear the upstairs, runs right past Too Old, and like Too Old run. Did they not see each other? I am in shock and awe here, folks. I have no idea how that just happened. I'm losing sight of the whole freaking push here. 2 members of BossFight left. Too Old's gonna find Bullets for Breakfast on his approach to the objective, and now it is 3 versus 1 as Mad Scientist is tucked in here.
Playing the ultimate game of hide and seek. with Too Old Game.
I don't.
Upstairs,
I
yes,
still.
enemy.
Okay, yeah. So Too Old did see him. He knows he's up there. He just decided not to chase him. Is what had happened there. And the
Very
frag is
wise.
gonna come out on the banister.
Alistair.
Mad Scientist caught a bit of shrapnel there. As he now sends some rounds out towards that stairwell. Can he find RPT on the OBJ? He stays tucked in. 2 minutes 40 left. Too Old rushes the stairs, finds Mad Scientist, and Silent Purge their second point.
I know. It's okay.
There it is, and Too Old on a tear. 6-2 so far on the series. The rest of Silent Purge not doing too bad themselves. Picking up almost all 2 apiece. Ooh, boy. That was an intense objective. That was,
Very intense.
That was-
Especially with that ending with the duel between Too Old and Names.
yeah.
Names, that's
And,
who, yep.
and names.
Names, yeah.
Mad Scientist is who you're thinking of there, I believe.
Yes. Yes. I'm really bad with names, if y'all don't know.
That was
I gotta read it.
I mean, Too Old there picking up those 3 kills on his quick rotations through. Like I said, he had his work cut out for him, but he was equipped that time to handle it. As he gets Silent Purge there, second point. Now BossFight back on the defensive, looking to respond. We're into that back and forth that I expected to see from Bazaar, but now we're getting it on Suburbia. All right. Teams are ready. We're getting back in. We've got the action coming at ya. Now it's round 4. Island Purge on the offensive for that south garage objective. Bunch of pre-fire coming out. Mad Scientist sends a little bit of his own down. The rest of the defense going to stay relatively tucked in as the pre-fire rains in from the Silent Purge side. I like Legel's little aggressive position here. He's got the nade. He's cooking it. Tossing it up and over a little too high and a little too short. Could have been RPT's demise there if he wasn't careful. Ooh, another one. Oh, a little too high again. These could have been... RPT has just been skirting the line here with grenades. Tossed by
Little
Legel.
hot sauce this time. It's not something I always say. I usually say too much hot sauce, but...
Oh, when the flash comes out, does catch RPT. He's got to stay tucked in. Grenade comes out from the offensive side. Not going to find Legel in response. And now RPT might push this corner a little too aggressively. Get caught out by Legel, but the trade is going to be what comes out. Legel's still revivable. RPT out completely.
And Ark's going to go for the double tap, probably, if he... Oh, maybe not.
I think Mad Scientist is looking to try to get this res. Oh, and the smoke coming out from their side. Mad Scientist does find Arc Attack on his push, and now BossFight back up to a 5 strong. Silent Purge operating with 3 all in the east.
And an east push on this objective can be very effective. East side exposes the front yard defense pretty well, especially where Bullets is at. So be careful about anyone lingering inside the house.
Ooh, Too Old is going to find Mad Scientist off the slide. That's going to make it a 4v3, but Scorpio will clean up Don Patron, and it's going to leave Too Old in a position here to have to send down a whole bunch of pre-fire into that position. It looks like he did identify at least one. Flash comes out. Looks like it did catch Legel there. It's just Mano and 2-0 left, the reservist. And the Titan of the Purge right now.
The Chief Purger. Chief in Purge. I don't know.
The Chief Purginator, Mr. 2-0. Defense pretty well set up, though. Pretty well equipped to defend this. They've got everybody covering every angle that matters. Lane 2 is covered. Burning objective approach is covered. The driveway is covered. Everything is all set. They just got to find where the offense is most likely pushing through. Mano's tucked in, waiting for 2-0 to, I think he might be scavenging some equipment. Yeah. Making use of...
Gotta get those drops. Gotta get that loot.
Gotta get the looter shooter. Onward, the looter shooter.
Yep.
Hopefully he's got a...
There's no bullet sponges.
Hopefully he's got that God roll MP5 and S80. A little bit of nerd talk.
Upgrades. If it's Borderlands, if it was orange.
All right, 2-0. I rotates to lane 1, comes back to lane 4. Just making sure to cover every angle. He's gonna be looking for Legel. He does find him though. Rotation does make sense if you can get the kills off of him. And now it's just 3 members of BossFight left.
Now he's having issues.
There's a lot of gun juggling here. It's kind of fun to watch. I've sort of been following 2-0 as he runs around and juggles the different guns he's got.
And he has left a pistol on the slide. Kids, don't try this at home.
Yeah, don't leave your handguns loaded on a children's slide. It's 2-0. Sends a few more rounds down. I think Mano here in lane 2 is going to be the next one to find anybody, really. I think he's looking for Scorpio or Scooby in that position. Let's take a look from his vantage point.
Might he making mistakes? You guys keeping them corners tight.
Mano talking to himself there as he...
Gotta be laying on that fucking
He's back to his looting point. Only 1 minute left.
60 seconds left. BossFight staying relatively tucked in. Mano looking for...
OBJ behind the garage.
Rocket smoke perfectly onto objective. Blocking that.
It has blinded Mano's view of Scorpio's position, though, even though he did rotate out already, but the smokes are out. 36 seconds left on the clock. I mean, Mano's got to start moving if he wants to get within range here. Shots are coming out towards the objective, aren't going to land. 2-0 now on this deep angle. Will he find bullets? No, bullets will find the kill first, and now Mano's rushing through. He's got 20 seconds left, 3 left to go. Is he going to find Scooby? No, he's not ready for Scooby's position either. And BossFight will continue that hold as they pick up their defensive win, and we just trade defenses back and forth here? Did we? No, actually, I think there was... No, they're all defenses. They're all defensive wins. 2-0 with 8 kills now. Legel 5 for BossFight.
But no caps this time.
Not yet. Don't jinx him, you know? You're gonna end up...
Listen to this. That's my table. That's made of wood. No jinxing here. That probably sounded really bad, but...
Yeah, definitely. It's definitely a possibility. These objectives have not been the most capable ones, so we will see.
They are the far back ones. We haven't had one that's been across the street. We have one that was in the street, and you know, obviously the garage one. So it's probably the 2 harder ones to get onto because there's just so much real estate for folk to occupy that allows them to defend pretty nicely.
Indeed, indeed.
We'll have the fire building objective, burning building. Gotta hype it a bit.
Oh, this objective is fantastic. We do love watching our pushes on this objective. All the kinds of smoke utilization. I would be surprised if BossFight doesn't try to go for the cap here. I think they want to close this map out and take it to the series decider if they can, and not have to drag out. Otherwise, if it just goes defensive win, Silent Purge will lock this series up. So BossFight has to be looking for their answer here. So far, they have had a very hard time unseating Silent Purge's defenses.
Yeah, Silent Purge has just been really good with taking real estate and occupying it and just not really budging from it too much until they feel pretty confident that they can do so. So they gotta find these early picks here if they really want to get into this.
It looks like there was a drop on the Silent Purge. Nope, sorry, the BossFight side. BossFight is operating with just 4 now. So give him about 30 to 60 seconds here to rejoin. And if he is not back in, we will throw you guys to a quick intermission while we wait for the teams to ready up. But, oh boy, what a series so far. I do want to take this time to thank everybody for coming out in the chat and hanging out with us. We do appreciate you guys helping us, you know, get more viewers. That's what we like. We like people watching the stuff that we put out. We do appreciate all the clips and subs and bits, etc. We do know there are better things to do on a Saturday, mostly. Actually, you know what? No, there isn't. Onward is the best thing to do on a Saturday. Yeah.
What am I doing my entire Saturday here? I'm casting.
Yeah, that's right. That is right. Bringing all these casts to the folks at home. Do you want to thank our sponsors really quickly? Sorry, VR cover.
Could be going out. Not sure. Yeah, the sponsors gotta mention them, but I could be going out having a great time. You know, living it, but making friends and stuff. But no, I'd rather be casting.
Now the outer net is scary. Okay, you don't go to the outer net.
Outside.
Outside is the worst. You don't have Onward outside. All right, round 5 is kicking off, and now we are into it. BossFight looking to get themselves a second map win, and in order to do that, they need to find this offensive win. Whether it is on kills or caps, they need to find it. As Scorpio downs Too Old in his position, the revive will come out, but the pre-fire is just non-stop. A little bit of return fire there. Lane 2 is just under assault. There's no breathing room there, and not a lot of the members of the defense had crossed to the objective just yet. But now they are in. We're seeing the nades come out a little bit too far there. Not going to find Scoopy on his push through.
And it's a Molotov too, so usually use those for blocking lanes.
Didn't even notice that. It was a Molotov indeed.
The road is on fire. But what else is new?
Everything is on fire. The whole situation's on fire.
Once again, we're seeing this slow play coming out of BossFight here. They're maybe giving Silent Purge a little too much room to work with.
Yeah, it looks like they're still trying to set up, still trying to get into their exact positioning here. I mean, we saw some of those early smokes come out. The C4 there, it's a whipped out, takes out the other C4, but no member of BossFight in position. And that right there, I mean, things like that is where that methodical play really does help. Where sometimes, you know, the defense will use timing or assumed timing to try to detonate or throw grenades, or, you know, use C4, etc. And sometimes it pays off to just tuck in a little bit, wait for the defense to use up all of their equipment, and then make your push through when they don't have any of that assistance. We're seeing the defense just kind of popping out, throwing stuff, popping back into their positions. About 2 minutes gone. Still all 10 alive.
The only person who's been shot is too old, but it wasn't definitive.
Ooh, that nade was just a little too far to catch our PT, but a good toss nonetheless.
Too spicy. Too spicy. There's more utility coming out of BossFight. How much do they have?
Yeah, they are carrying quite the amount of smokes and frags and flashes. We've seen all of the utilization. I mean, that's what you want, right? But I'm just not sure that that's an actionable smoke. You know, I don't really know what necessary benefit that's going to find. Mano watching for that lane 1 push as Scooby and Scorpio finally start making their way up here into lane 4. The smokes continue to rain out. Don Patron taking some shots out towards the offense.
2 landing in the same place and going the same direction.
Like a little bit of pre-fire onto Don Patron's position. Not going to find anything there either. Just going to kind of keep a high level angle here so we can pay attention to the push. Scorpio is on the slide. Going to be looking for Mano's position first, and he does find one. And Don Patron goes down as well as he pushes out at that exact time. Wow.
RPT
He just decided to...
Scorpio.
And the refrag from Scooby, and now it's a 4v2. Too old. Only one on objective there. Defending does find Scooby with a nice headshot. Bullets for breakfast will find Mano on the inside of the house with the confirm, and now it's just the remaining 2 members of Silent Purge on the objective. 3 left from Boss Fight. Minute 45 on the clock. Too old under fire there from bullets. Bullets from bullets.
Even when you thought we couldn't have more, there is more smoke now.
Arc Attack is going to find Lego there walking out into the open. And Tooled is keeping an eye onto that position. Bullets will find Arc Attack. The confirm comes out. Not sure he knows he's got him. Tooled now rotating to try to find Bullets on that spot. But Mad Scientist from upstairs in center house will find that defensive kill. And Boss Fight takes their much needed offensive round, the first one of map 2.
Now the question is, can Silent Purge reciprocate and take a Marsoc round?
Oh, they need
They
it.
have the ability to do that.
They absolutely need it. I mean, it really is not even a question of can they or or should they. It is 100% they need it. If Boss Fight takes this defensive round, it is all over. So Silent Purge is either going to be looking for the cap, or at the very least the kill win. Otherwise, Boss Fight will take map 2, and we will go into a map 3 series decider, which you know, we all know and love. We love our map 3 deciders, our nail biters.
Oh yes. I mean, I don't have any nails to bite though. I have a nervous habit of chewing my nails, so
Well,
Nohm4n, I want you to chew your nails for me.
Anytime that you guys, anytime that you want to quit that would be a good time. It's probably not healthy.
No, it is not healthy. It's probably worse than smoking.
Is it though? Is it?
Probably not.
I feel like Pink would have a different take on that for me. Gameplay time though. Round 6 is underway. We're gonna see a lot of smoking here as Silent Purge is gonna be making their push for this burning objective, and they've got to be thinking cap. If you've got that emote, please do go ahead and throw it in the chat. It's a fun one to use. Defense now crossing over to objective. Bullets and Scorpio.
I will be able to see the right before you. So if you see me die, then they're coming on your angle, bullets.
Just a little bit of
That is
positioning call out there.
This is nowhere near as aggressive as I thought I would see Silent Purge do.
They have been sort of oscillating, right? There have been some relatively quick plays, but even those have started around the 4-minute mark with a flurry of activity. But they've definitely still got that patience that we see out of the EU teams. So not too surprising. We'll take a look at the overhead map as they get themselves set up, as we're not likely to see much action here for the first minute or so. So it looks like they've got a pretty even spread. They've got all lanes covered, got flanking positions covered. They're expecting BossFight to be a little bit more pushed up than they are. BossFight opting to give the entire middle lane away to Silent Purge for free. But they are staying tucked in. And I mean, I like this positioning, but it is so heavily focused on lanes 3 and 4. They're kind of expecting 2 people to cover most of the rest of the lanes.
Remember, middle guys, you got 3 of us back.
At least in the best case scenario.
Well, there is only
Oops,
2
sorry
other
about that.
lanes.
Yeah, I mean, they've got, well, their coverage across to lane 2 is literally just one guy who can peek up and over. And they're just sort of thinking they may be able to rotate as needed. But with this objective, when the smokes start coming out and they're on objective, you don't have a lot of time to be keeping your head on a swivel, so to speak. So it can be a little bit dangerous to just commit to this, but it, you know, I feel like BossFight, it's like they heard me, you know, like they got to be thinking cap, so we got to make sure all of our focus is on the OBJ and not anywhere else. And they've got that in spades.
Mad, make sure you're covering left. I don't want us to get all shot in the back.
Once again, the 3-minute standstill appears again.
Yeah, we are in our patient play. Half the time on the map gone. And Silent Purge is now getting up into the middle here. We're going to start seeing that grenade barrage. Bullets just barely ducking out of the way of one. RPT throwing another. Not going to make it over the house. And now we're starting to see the smokes come out towards the objective. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. A little skip nade there comes out. A little too short, doesn't find Architect and RPT, and now the defensive nades are coming out to check. But still, all 10 alive. Flash coming out over the top of Spawn House there is pretty good. Mano just barely ducking a frag there. That was so close. A second one of Flash will land this time.
And 2 old makes an insane push, but gets caught out by Scorpio. It's actually a trade.
That is 2 members of Silent Purge down. Mano creeping across the street. He's looking for Scooby. Mad Scientist is going to be the one that gets the kill. Don Patron with the quick refrag, and then Bullets for Breakfast with the answer back. Now it is 3 on the objective, 1 left for Silent Purge. BossFight looking strong here.
And the race for the res comes out. Scorpio's
Don
winner,
Patron's
and
going to find
Don
one.
He still has 3 more to get.
Yeah, he is not out of the woods yet, and the pre-fire coming out from Scooby keeps Don Patron from rotating out, but no, Scooby does the re-peek, and Don Patron finds another. Now it's a 2v1.
This is far more manageable for Don. We have seen doubles come out before.
Is opting to do the long rotation. Let's do a little ride along with Don Patron as he tries to clutch this round for Silent Purge. They need this to hang on, otherwise BossFight will take map 2 and we'll go into the series decider, folks. 70 seconds left on the clock. Not spotting anything overt out through those bushes. Defense relatively tucked in still, but not in unthinkable positions as Don Patron does find one. Bullets for Breakfast goes down on OBJ. 45 seconds left, just a 1v1. Let's turn on these lasers. I keep forgetting that lasers even exist. As Don Patron now pushes around. And Legal with the pre-fire is giving his position away. Is he going to be ready for Don Patron pushing this corner? I think Legal still thinks he's on the backside. He's on the wrong side. Don Patron is out of ammo. He's taking the pistol shots, but Legal is going to find the kill. And BossFight will win simply because Don Patron ran out of ammo. Holy cow.
a nice idea, but I felt like he could have ducked and reloaded pretty quick if he had to.
I don't know if he was out of clips or just out of bullets in that mag, but either way, holy cow, what a series, ladies and gentlemen.
BossFight have stuck in this.
And BossFight will take map 2, Suburbia, with a very solid 4-2 score line, and now we get into our third map, which will be the series decider, as Silent Purge did take Bazaar 4-1, and it will not be Suburbia. It will actually be
Quarantine.
Yes, indeed, it will be Quarantine for our final decider map, as Caster's obvious personal favorite, as usual. So, always stoked to finish up on this map. What? It's going to be Silent Purge's pick. Bans our cargo and tanker, those that did not know. And now we will be getting ourselves into some quarantine. I don't know, what do you think? You've seen 2 maps, Mr. Todd. What do you think is going to be the outcome of this? Has it given you any further insight now that we've seen them play today?
Not really. We saw BossFight trying to get expansive in the first round, and that didn't work for them. So now they're playing tight on objective from the rest we've seen them, and it seems to be working pretty well for them, but they've only been just working with it. So this could go either way here.
Yeah.
And I do know 2 old personally loves this map, so this could work in Silent Purge's favor.
Yeah, we'll see what happens here. Let the folks know what the objective is as well.
Oh, would you like me to do that?
Absolutely.
Alrighty, it's going to be the Tank Courtyard objective.
Oh, Tank Courtyard. What a fun objective to watch.
Yeah, with that cheeky capping spot right there, you have to make sure that you have all hands on deck for that.
It's going to be an interesting series. Silent Purge opting to start out on offense, as of course it is their map pick. We'll see if that affects anything. I mean, BossFight just has to hold a defense, and I don't know what their historic stats are on Quarantine, but I know they are pretty strong on it in general. So we will see if Silent Purge can find themselves the offensive wins here. Suburbia, both teams sort of struggled to find any kind of offensive purchase until BossFight's round 5 win for offense that set them up for that final victory there.
Well, as of right now, this is their most played map, so... And it's probably one of their strongest aside from Suburbia. Actually, Suburbia is their strongest, but they've only played it twice. Suburbia twice. 3 times now, including the one we just saw, but... This is their second best map, but if the statistics prove right, this could go in Silent Purge's favor.
We will see, because the round is kicking off. We are in to our third map. Round 1 is underway. BossFight on defense, Silent Purge on offense.
Yep, that's my number 1 goal, is just stay alive. I don't care about territory.
And BossFight there discussing, they just want to stay alive. They just want to keep people up, so they're not too worried about who's covering what. They want to keep people close. Oh, and that nade! How did that nade not down Don Patron? An unbelievable toss there, and a trade coming out.
Yeah, Legel's gonna have to resort to using standard lead to do the job of the nade. Unacceptable.
Yeah, I mean, that nade was, at least in my view at the time, pretty spot on. But no down there. He will make the bullets work, and now Arc Attack with the confirm is going to make Scooby's smoke and res attempt unnecessary.
The spawn is known, so BossFight have completely maneuvered into a counter position.
Scooby is waiting on the edge of the smoke for Arc Attack to push up. I don't think Arc Attack will be ready for this. He hasn't pushed up just yet, though. Silent Purge setting up a little firing line all the way across.
I just want to point out that 2 Old's grenade there bounced off the cell phone tower and then bounced off the power line. Like, what is this, pinball?
Scooby did identify Arc Attack at the tank.
More smokes going out just shy of objective. Maybe to block? Yeah, I think it is. Yes!
Yeah, I mean, these are pretty good smokes here to obfuscate their push down from the north. Scorpio will find 2-0, though, on his aggressive push across to the east, and now Arc Attack will be looking to find the refrag as a little bit of ring around the rosy here with the defense. Smokes and frags coming out onto OBJ. Ooh, that frag was... Had to zoom on over here, make sure that wasn't going to pick up Mad Scientist. Let's stick close to the objective just in case. RPT does find Scooby on that long peak towards the tow trucks, and now it is a 3v3 all evened up here as Arc Attack and Scorpio will trade out completely in the north, leaving just the 2 here on objective for both. RPT, the only one a little bit off. He's on the rooftop courtyard wall there. Mano finds one onto Mad Scientist. Bullets for breakfast, the last one remaining. He's got to rotate in.
And Mano is onto objective. He takes out the last guy, getting the first point for Silent Purge.
And that was a very good-looking offensive push there. I mean, a series of trades. A series of trades that really just went into the offense's favor. I mean, that's anytime you're having trades that close to the objective, it is definitely the offense that is winning. And that final pick by Mano over the engine, just what they needed to get that point. And there we go. Score is correct. So we are at 7-5 right now overall on the series. So a pretty close matchup despite how map 1 went. Let's see what BossFight. I'm curious to see if, like, we haven't seen really any shield usage. We haven't seen any 12x utilization, you know? Like, I feel like I've seen 3 riflemen, 2 specialists, or 3 riflemen, 2 support. And that's really the full loadout I've seen. I haven't seen too much sort of special equipment utilization outside of, you know, a few C4s and a couple of Molotovs.
Well, since they're both down, basically a player using a reservist, I don't think they really want to mess around with having a support in the back, kind of calling shots or doing individual stuff, where that can just really make them go down a guy with. But they have a person on their team who doesn't know the strats, you know. It seems like a waste.
Sure.
Just want to play some old school, old-fashioned Onward.
Okay, you're going far north. Bullets, is that
Well, it
you
depends on how old-fashioned you get. There's been quite a few changes in the game over the past year, even at the bare minimum. But
I'm gonna be
obviously,
timing
since
it right,
release,
so while I throw this grenade, I need you to just run straight.
Scooby playing that field commander role, just giving out all the information he needs, what his team needs to do, and how they need to do it as the defense gets set up. The defensive smoke there, oh, a little confusing. I'm not sure why you'd toss one all the way up here. Taking a look at the overhead map, it looks like BossFight is also going to opt to try to take the north as commandingly as possible, but Silent Purge opting to give most of that up in favor of tucking in further on the south side of the objective.
Help behind the wall across the ambulance.
Oh, this is such a... I feel like Too Old can see mad scientist here. Where's our lasers?
Exactly.
Oh, he's actually looking down towards center burning. That's why he wasn't able to spot him. I was like, the sightline is there. He must just not quite be able to see him there with the camouflage.
And sometimes keep in mind, our view is a little different than what they see because they're physically looking at this like in real size. So
Yeah, absolutely. Ooh, the frag comes out a little too short, but mad scientist was definitely in danger there for a moment. BossFight still opting to get set up. North side finally pushing across a little bit to the east. Taking piece by piece. They've got 2 on rooftop. Looking to make their high angle picks. Let's head on over to the rooftop and see exactly which way they're watching. So Bullets is covering the back end there. Scooby just kind of scouting out potential positioning.
Hey, Bullets. Bullets. Alright, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go to the front.
All right. They are going to make their strategy up on the rooftop there. While the rest of BossFight gets set up, they do have Scorpio now in the south gas station as well. So a nice little half moon being set up here, a little crescent moon around the objective, a little semicircle, whatever you want to call it.
and if you can time it right, you can apply pressure on all flanks and kind of force the enemy into a what do now situation.
Yeah, difficult one to do for sure. Mad Scientist is going to find Too Old on that peak, but quickly refragged by Don Patron. That'll be the first 2 out of the series. Mano looking now, or Mano being looked for now by Bullets for Breakfast. There is one on rooftop. I don't think he can spot him out. Obviously, again, views are a little wonky, but not able to spot him out just yet. Interesting. Scooby downing himself.
To get a
Okay, I
view.
got negative visual from rooftop.
Yeah, looks like he's doing that so that he could spot, so he could watch enemies without actually putting his body above the ledge. Not a bad play. I assume.
I see, I'm betting two center, one across the street like Mad called. And then
Mano
one
looking
dead
for
end.
bullets as well.
Got a danger close on.
Oh, and Legel and Architect here. I just realized they are right next to each other. Legel's got to be hearing these footsteps from Architect. He needs to be a little bit sneaky on his approach. And now we're starting to see the smokes coming out from the south side as well. So much action to follow. It's hard to know who I'm going to follow first. Scorpio just ducking some bullets there. Bullets picking up Scooby. And Legel creeping up. He's got 60 seconds left still. If he can find Architect, it'll make the north approach that much easier for the offense. And there it is. Legel will find... All right, there it is. 45 seconds left. The north approach far easier now that they've cleaned up Motel, but Don Patron on a key rotation here might be able to catch people crossing. Scooby finds Mano on the inside. Bullets will find Don Patron as he pushes through. 34 seconds and Scorpio comes in, cleans up the final kill, and just like that, BossFight will find themselves their offensive round here as well. Interesting play there by a BossFight. First time, at least I've personally seen that, downing yourself on purpose to be able to spot out enemies without putting your body in danger. Very cheeky little plays here. We're seeing some cheeky stuff.
Yeah, we're seeing very similar attacks and results coming out of both teams here, with both kind of cleaning up on objective with cheeky little peeks. They're taking up all their time in the world. I think we've always gone down into the final minute. We haven't really had like short rounds at all.
No, definitely not. We are in almost hour 2 of this series so far. So thanks to all the folks sticking out with us, hanging out for the long Saturday matchups. We got a lot more of them coming at you, so don't go anywhere. Okay, the objective has shifted. We will now be doing the truck stop objective in the far north.
And the truck has stopped. He's kind of buried.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's got no choice.
What kind of driving happened there?
Yeah, a couple of sandstorms have hit this place, it looks like.
This is just Salt Lake City, though. If you look at the signs, I believe, unless they changed the meta or the lore on me.
It's been about a year since I've been to Salt Lake City, but yeah, this tracks. This definitely looks. This is a pretty accurate rendition of Salt Lake
I
City.
don't see a lake anywhere.
Buildings
What are
on
they talking
fire and just pieces of an airplane scattered about. Yep, it's pretty much.
An A380, which if I'm not mistaken, I'm a bit of an aviation fanatic. I don't think any 380s go into Salt Lake City.
Well, now they do. Now
I guess they do now.
they
Yeah.
do now, and that's a new thing.
Qantas is serving Salt Lake City. Direct to Australia.
Oh yeah. That is fantastic stuff. Okay, looks like we do have a drop on the boss fight side, so just waiting for that player to rejoin the lobby before we kick off. While the teams get themselves all set up, we'll kick you guys over to a quick intermission, but don't go anywhere. The timer is preset at 10 minutes, but we will be back much shorter than that. Don't go anywhere as we wait for boss fight to ready. I'm just doing this because they'll get their 5th player in as soon as I throw to intermission. It's a thing with casters. So we'll be right back, folks. Don't go anywhere for the rest of map 3, the series decider here for Silent Purge and boss fight. All right, ladies and gents, as you can see, the tent is full. And everybody is readied up, so we are basically good to go. We're going to be on this North Truck Stop objective. Boss fight looking to continue, or not continue, looking to get their defensive win. It has been offensive trades so far. But if Boss Fight can get back on track here, they will find themselves the series based purely on defensive wins. But Silent Purge has not been an easy opponent today. They have found all of the chinks in the armor of Boss Fight that they can, taking Bazaar away pretty handedly.
Okay, Scooby doing bullets going
Just
rooftop
narrowly
bullets.
ducking
I want
out
you to
of
swing
Suburbia
wide
as
to
Boss
the
Fight
left.
picks that one up. But now we are into gameplay. We are into round 3.
Chance I'll die at gas station.
And it is indeed quick spawn, so
On the left side.
these early peaks are going to be pretty key for Boss Fight to identify this spawn. Once they've locked him in, this spawn is both really advantageous for Marsoc and can also be extremely punishing. If you lose people quickly, you're kind of stuck in this southwest corner of the map.
Yeah, the last thing you want to do is give away where you are, like, so early on, for the enemy to basically reform their defense with 5 people up.
Yeah, it would be quite the big deal for this kind of push. I mean, Silent Purge needs to make sure their offense stays intact if they want to make this northwest push, and now it has been identified. The callouts came from Scooby on the positioning, and I mean, look at these lasers sweeping the rooftop and rooftop courtyard. Defense largely
Scorpio, one tap
pretty
is there.
tucked
Danger
in.
close.
Too old here. The closest on the corner. Arc Attack will be peeking Scooby's position, but Scooby is ready for it. He finds one. Silent Purge now operating with just 4. Confirmed shots coming out. Silent Purge just waiting for any rotations to get caught out. Lego there peeking the white car, catches a couple of rounds his way from Mano. That nade onto the rooftop was pretty good, and actually didn't grok it for a second there. Should have followed it, but not quite landing. RPT now trading some shots with Scooby, and Scooby's definitely tucked in to a pretty dangerous spot. He is just surrounded by lasers now. He doesn't have a lot of places to go.
It's a European rave.
Yeah, there's some sweet laser pointers going on all over the place. Do have Don Patron sweeping the rooftop as well, looking for one, but unless Scooby decides to slowly crawl across, he's going to have a hard time getting that pick as well. I mean, Scooby here is just absolutely suppressed. Too old.
There's 2
Now-
guys over there. 2 guys over there.
Creeping up towards the
Smoke just came from
The
Plano.
sewers
Smoke
here.
came from Plano. Green folks, smoke from Plano.
there's nobody at play knows. That was actually just quite a long toss from from the village garage.
And Too Old's gonna do the cheeky wing maneuver.
Yeah, we'll see if Scooby's going to be ready for this. I mean, there's nobody there to spot out somebody making this push up. They've suppressed Lego at white car. He's not likely to be spotted out here. Scooby's so tucked in. Scooby does find Too Old, but he does catch a bullet for his troubles.
Great call.
Oh, it was a call out. Yeah. Looks like Lego might have spotted him out as he made that approach up the hill. Now Silent Purge with just 3. Lego sending some more rounds down towards that garage position, and Scooby on an absolute tear finds his 3rd so far as Don Patron pushes out.
Another one down West Alley. That's 3 dead from me.
Potential squad wipe for Scooby coming up here.
Oh yeah, I mean, the positioning of the Silent Purge players is advantageous for Scooby. I mean, if they just keep pushing up and over this northwest corridor, he's just gonna rank and file mow him down. But RPT opting to rotate through to center burning instead. And just sending out that suppressing fire. As now the remainder of the offense gets split up. I'm just kind of following Scooby. He's the man with the kills this time. Seems like the right one to crawl along with, but we'll see what RPT can do here. Scooby was just checking that angle. If the timing is right, Scooby will find his fourth here. But RPT really looking for that rooftop pick. Shots from Scorpio.
Where's Dale still? Where's Dale?
Not gonna land those shots. That is gonna alert Scooby to one as Mano pushes up here. Trade some shots with Scorpio. Mano sound effects always make me laugh. Nice little defensive nade there, a little too far. Kind of that poke and hope. Scooby continues to rain fire down on Mano, who's looking to try to cross that alley, and Scooby will find his fourth now. Mad Scientist on the other side of RPT here. RPT should find this kill. There it is. And that's going to be the first for Silent Purge, but Scooby is aware. He's got 4. Can he get the squad wipe here? Oh, and RPT will shut that down as he finds a second.
But Scooby's not down yet. I'm sorry, Scooby's only down. He's not dead.
RPT will find another, but the trade will come out. And BossFight will secure that defensive win.
Again.
Well, for the first time. That was their first defensive on Q1.
Well, I guess I should phrase it the odd win.
True.
This is what has been given BossFight the map. Or their only win so far on Suburbia was getting an objective. Not an objective, but getting an odd win.
Yeah, when they needed it. When they needed it most. When they traded those Marsoc wins in the beginning. I don't know.
A stellar defense, nonetheless.
Yeah, good defensive hold there. I mean, really, Scooby, the tip of the spear, able to pick up the majority of those kills. 4 for him before getting down by RPT there.
We will be seeing how Silent Purge now defends the objective. Will they do something really similar? Question.
Yeah, and of course the spawn is going to be the big differentiator here. If BossFight gets a different approach, if they get, for example, the crater spawn, the polar opposite, makes that rooftop position still strong, just not that specific position on the rooftop, but a little bit less impactful than it was there for Scooby. All right, Silent Purge on the defense. We are getting ourselves into round 4. This map 3 series decider, if you have just joined. It is Crater Spawn, as I have caster cursed them. Classic caster curse.
Hear that? That's wood.
That is knocking on wood. Yeah, thank you. That's what my headset needed.
That's what everyone's headset needed. Rip headphones.
Rip loud noises. Now the offense will get set up here in this east side. So they are opting to stay on the northern track and look to maybe get themselves some kind of pick on these long angles. They've set up a nice little firing line here. You can see on the map. They do have one rotating all the way around. Is that Too Old, or who is that? That is Scooby, who is rotating. Sorry, I'm on BossFight offense. Too Old is not on offense. Scooby is the one Heading up the rooftop courtyard push here. Managed to get past Mano without getting spotted, it looks like.